There's a kind of heartbreak that doesn't scream, it whispers, a quiet ache that follows you long after the goodbye. It's not the kind of love you write songs about, it's the kind that rewrites your soul. Carl Jung didn't speak about relationships the way modern psychology does. He didn't talk about compatibility charts, or red flags, or attachment styles. He spoke of encounters, meaningful collisions, two people meeting at the exact moment fate requires them to, not for forever, but for transformation. So what if that person who broke your heart was never meant to stay? What if they were meant to ignite something in you? You meet someone, instant pull, no logic, no explanation, just recognition. Your soul feels like it's known them forever, but your circumstances, impossible. They're married, they live across the world. You're too different, or the timing is completely wrong, and yet you can't let go. You feel them in dreams, in random songs, in moments of silence. Jung called this the Anima and Animus projection. The moment you meet someone who reflects your inner opposite, a mirror of everything you've buried, longed for, or feared. And here's the painful paradox: they awaken you, but they do not belong to you, because this connection wasn't designed for comfort. It was designed to disrupt, to show you your wounds, to make the unconscious conscious. It's not love in the romantic sense, it's alchemy, the raw transformation of psyche through pain. Now let's go deeper, because if the universe sends someone you can't be with, there's always a reason, and it's never random. The Anima and Animus trap. Carl Jung believed every man carries within him the image of the ideal woman, the Anima, and every woman, the image of the ideal man, the Animus. But here's where it gets dangerous. These aren't real people. They're archetypes, symbols, ghosts of our inner longing. So when you meet someone who resembles your Anima or Animus, you don't fall in love with them. You fall in love with a projection. Their voice matches the lullaby you always wanted to hear. Their presence soothes a wound you never knew had a name. It's intoxicating, but also blinding. You assign them meaning. You believe they were sent. You think it's fate, but it's often your unconscious screaming for integration, not a soulmate, a soul mirror. That's why these relationships don't last, because they weren't meant to fulfill your desires. They were meant to reveal them. Jung once said, "We are not what happened to us, we are what we choose to become." And often, it's the person you can't have, who forces you to become who you were always meant to be. The heartbreak becomes the portal, the longing becomes the lesson, the goodbye becomes the guide. But most people miss this. They chase, they beg, they spiral. Instead of asking the right question, why did my soul need this person at this exact time, and not a second later? Maybe their rejection wasn't punishment, maybe it was redirection, because if you had stayed with them, you might have never met yourself. That's the terror and the gift of projection. It's not about them, it's about you. Now let's pull back the curtain even more, and examine why the universe allows this pain in the first place. And if this content is making sense to you, then click the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Divine interruption. When the universe says no, you thought it was love. They thought it was timing. But the universe? It thought it was a lesson. Carl Jung didn't believe in accidents. He believed in synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that guide us, shape us, interrupt us, and sometimes protect us, because that person you couldn't keep might have kept you from your purpose. That heartbreak, it might have cracked open a part of you. That comfort never could. We want comfort. The universe wants consciousness. You wanted a relationship. The universe wanted a revelation. So it sent someone you couldn't keep, not to punish you, but to wake you up. Because without that ache in your chest, you wouldn't have questioned your patterns. You wouldn't have faced your fears. You wouldn't have peeled back the mask. You would have settled, performed, repeated. But this pain, it interrupted you, and interruption is how the soul evolves. You think you lost them, but what if they were never yours? What if they were a message wrapped in a person? What if their role wasn't to stay, but to strike a chord that had never been heard inside you? That's what Jung meant when he said, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. You were transformed, just not in the way you expected. They didn't give you a future, they gave you a fracture. And that fracture is where the light gets in. So now, the question shifts. Not why did they leave, but what did their leaving awaken in me? That's how you reclaim your power, not by rewriting the ending, but by rereading the message. That's how you stop chasing the ones who can't love you back, and start understanding the ones who had to leave, because their absence was the presence of something deeper. And when you learn to read the language of divine interruption, you stop seeing heartbreak as a curse, and start seeing it as a calling. The mirror repeats until you remember. Why does the universe keep sending the same type of person? The same coldness, the same withdrawal, the same ache in your gut when they stop choosing you. Different faces, same wound. It's not bad luck, it's unfinished business. Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. That's not poetry, that's a prescription. The people you can't seem to get over, the ones you can't seem to stop attracting, they're not random. They are mirrors, not of what you want, but of what you believe you deserve deep down. You say you want love, but unconsciously, you still expect abandonment. You say you want safety, but your nervous system is calibrated to chaos. You say you want peace, but you mistake stillness for boredom. Because drama feels like home. The universe doesn't give you what you wish for. It gives you what you're a match for. And if your inner child still thinks love must be earned, you'll keep attracting people who make you prove it. That's not punishment. That's precision, because the soul doesn't heal through comfort. It heals through contrast. Each person you almost had, they were a mirror showing you what's still running the show inside you. The insecurity, the wound, the voice that says, you're too much, or not enough. They didn't reject you, they reflected you. And if that hurts, good. Because pain is information. It's the soul's way of saying, this pattern is too heavy to carry any further. So pause, ask yourself, what part of me was I hoping they would fix? What void was I hoping they would fill? And can I meet that part, myself, before the next person arrives? Because Jung didn't teach you how to win love. He taught you how to remember it. He said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. That includes healing the parts of you that chase people who can't see you. That includes facing the part of you that clings to the pain because it's familiar. Until you learn this, the mirror repeats. But once you see it, truly see it, you break the cycle. And when you break the cycle, the universe sends you someone else, not to complete you, but to reflect the you that finally came home. In the final part, we'll explore the rarest kind of love Jung described, and how it only becomes possible after you stop searching. When you finally stop searching, there's a kind of love Jung rarely spoke of directly, but it lives between the lines of all his teachings. It's not the obsessive kind, not the dramatic kind, not the kind that makes you lose yourself. It's the kind that arrives after the purging, after the grieving, after the long, aching return to your own soul. It's the love that doesn't come to fix you. It comes because you stopped needing fixing. This kind of love doesn't make your heart race with anxiety. It doesn't leave you guessing, doubting, proving, or performing. It feels quiet. But that quiet is not emptiness, it's peace. Carl Jung wrote, loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. That's what this love heals. Not your childhood, not your insecurities, but your aloneness in the world. It finds you after you've learned to sit with yourself in silence, after you've buried the versions of you who begged for crumbs, after you've chosen solitude over shallow companionship. Then, and only then, Does the universe send someone who speaks your language? Not the one on your tongue, the one in your soul, the one you didn't even know was possible to be understood. They won't complete you, but they'll witness you, not from a pedestal, not from a place of saving, but from right beside you, as someone who's also done the work, also felt the ache, also stopped running from themselves. This kind of love won't rescue you. It will reflect how far you've come, and that's how you'll know it's real, because it won't feel like a high. It'll feel like returning to yourself, to truth, to everything you thought you had to chase in someone else. And if you're still waiting for that kind of love, then let this be your reminder. It's not out there. It's after you stop chasing, after you stop proving, after you stop settling, because the love your soul longs for only arrives when you do. If this resonated, take a moment to subscribe. Drop a comment below, not for the algorithm, but to mark this chapter in your journey. If you made it this far, you're not just watching, you're remembering, returning, reclaiming your inner ground. So trust that the video YouTube shows you next, the one appearing now, is not random. It's the next doorway, the next layer, and it will meet you exactly where you are. We'll see you in the next depth. Depthoria continues.